Now, this one goes out to all the virtue-signaling snowflakes on the left, clutching their lattes and coexist bumper stickers while dreaming of President Trump getting assassinated, which is utterly disgusting. Let's jump right in. You ask if I voted for this, as if it's some kind of a gotcha moment, like I'm supposed to hang my head in shame. Well, buckle up, buttercup, because yes, hell yes, I voted for this, along with 77 million others. I voted for a leader who doesn't whisper sweet nothings about unity while stabbing America in the back. I voted for Donald J. Trump, the man who's going to drain the swamp deeper than ever and make this country great again like it's meant to be. And let me tell you why, point by point, because unlike your side's endless virtue loops, here on the MAGA train, we deal in fact, strength, and unapologetic patriotism. First off, mass deportations. Yeah, I said it. And in the words of President Trump, I'm happy about it. Here he is setting the record straight this week for the umpteenth time. Listen.
Yeah, please. On immigration, ICE are making arrests, targeted arrests at courthouses in New York City and around the country.
They're arresting criminals, that's right. Yeah, so go ahead. I'm happy about it. I want them to arrest criminals.
Yeah. We had tens of millions of illegal aliens pouring over our borders like it was an open house party, courtesy of Biden's come one, come all disaster. And these aren't just folks looking for a better life, like the left would have you believe. They're mixed with criminals, fentanyl pushers, and gang members, turning some neighborhoods into war zones. Trump promised the largest deportation operation in history, rounding up the bad actors first, the murderers, the rapists, the ones who've got no business being here. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is making sure people realize exactly who it is they're taking off the streets. Here is just a small snapshot of that. Watch.
We are focused on the worst of the worst, bringing these individuals to justice. We're not going to let individuals terrorize our streets anymore, and we're not going to let them make victims out of families that live in this country. I'll give you some examples of individuals that were brought to justice here in Sarasota and in this area. The first one I'll talk about is a convicted murderer whose name is Eric Carlos Artiles Ramos, an illegal alien who was from Cuba. He had a prior removal order in 2008, and now because of the work of this office, he is off the streets. He was also previously convicted of kidnapping and carjacking. We also have another individual, Oscar Alfredo Retena Marroquin, an illegal alien from El Salvador. He was convicted of sexual assault against a child and in 1995, and he was also arrested for DUI. He has been deported twice before, in 1999 and in 2019. Reentry after deportation, I'll remind all of you, is a felony.
No more catch and release nonsense. Why? Because American citizens deserve safety, and because citizenship means something. And it's about more than just that. It's about jobs and resources that aren't siphoned off by people who cut the line. I voted for borders that mean something, for sovereignty that isn't a joke. Your sanctuary cities are just magnets for chaos, and it's not what the American people wanted anymore, that's for sure. One of CNN's conservative panelists gets it and won't cave to the pearl-clutching liberals at all. Here it is.
You know what every Trump voter says to this? This is exactly what I voted for. They don't want people basically coming in, suppressing wages. They want the free market to take effect, and they want people to be paid a fair wage who are doing this kind of labor. And that's exactly what they voted for.
So you're saying that they voted for there to not be workers in farms that pick their food and produce and process their meat, and those prices go up, or some of those companies go out of business. That's
not illegals. They want legal migrants, and we have a program to do exactly that.
Well,
yet we have programs to handle that. Of course, they know that. Liberals want us to believe the illegal aliens are the backbone of society, but we're not buying it. Not anymore. Most of us never did, in fact. And speaking of chaos, let's talk about those narco-terrorists and boats sneaking across the water, loaded with poison that's killing our children faster than any pandemic. Fentanyl, meth, heroin. It's a chemical declaration of war from drug cartels in Mexico and beyond. Trump's Defense Department is blowing those boats sky high before they even reach our shores. Drones, Navy SEALs, whatever it takes. No more playing nice with these human traffickers and drug lords who laugh at our weak-kneed diplomacy. I voted for those decisive strikes, for treating this like the war it is and has been for decades. I voted for balls. Vice President J.D. Vance gets it. Listen to this.
It's important for the American people to recognize these are narco-terrorists who are trying to bring poison into our country and kill our citizens. What happens to them, I don't really care so long as they're not bringing poison into our country.
I don't really care as long as they're not bringing poison into our country. Remember, these cartels are narco-terrorists funded by China's precursor chemicals, slaughtering Americans by the tens of thousands every year. Blowing up their operations isn't cruelty, it's justice. It's saving lives. Your harm reduction kits and open borders are enabling the poison. Our way ends it with prejudice. How about defunding the Department of Education? Absolutely. I voted for that. That bloated bureaucracy in D.C. has been indoctrinating our kids for decades, turning schools into woke factories, churning out activists instead of thinkers. Common Core disasters, critical race theory, guilt trips, gender confusion propaganda, it's all got to go. Trump wants to slash it, send the power and the money back to the states where parents and local communities call the shots. No more federal overlords dictating that Johnny has to learn about 57 genders before he can add 2 plus 2. Education Secretary Linda McMahon, she's going to turn it back to the states like was promised during the campaign. Here she is.
The Department of Education was set up in 1980. We have now spent as a country over $3 trillion to watch the performance of our students continue to decline. And as I said in my confirmation hearing, we're just simply not doing something right. I don't think that education that is handled from a bureaucratic position in Washington, D.C. is best for the states.
You see, I voted to focus on real education, reading, writing, math, history that celebrates America's greatness, doesn't apologize for it. Trade schools, apprenticeships, merit-based everything. I voted for kids who graduate ready to build, innovate, and lead, not protest and whine and demand a free ride for life. Your side's education system is failing inner city kids worst of all. Everybody knows it. Ours will liberate them and give them a chance to pursue real dreams, not nightmares that Democrats keep delivering. Then there's making our major cities safe again. Oh man, where do you start here? How about New York, Chicago, San Francisco? Once jewels of America, now very vast areas of crimes and hellholes, thanks to defund the police lunacy and Soros-backed DAs who treat criminals like victims. I voted for locking up the looters, the carjackers, the fentanyl dealers, the rapists, and the killers. Remember those BLM riots that burned billions of dollars worth of property? That's what the liberals voted for, not me. Under Trump, law and order reigns. I voted for streets where families can walk without fear. Businesses thrive without boarded windows, and cops are heroes, not hunted by savages just released from jail for the 25th time this year. How about ending wars? You bet I voted for that. Trump is the peace president. No new wars on his watch last time, and he'll do it again. And he'll do it one better, by stopping wars wherever he can. Peace through strength is his motto, and even as he navigates peace in the Middle East, he makes that clear. Here it is.
You know, we have 59 countries that agreed to the deal. We have peace in the Middle East for the first time ever. We made a deal with Hamas that, you know, they're going to be very good, they're going to behave, they're going to be nice, and if they're not, we're going to go and we're going to eradicate them if we have to. They'll be eradicated, and they know that.